Hi guys, it's the Gamer Untamed, and today I'm going to be giving you a list of pros and cons for Mass Effect 3. It's sort of a review, but not quite. And I'm just going to say that this video will contain spoilers, so I'm going to alert you for that. So first I'm going to start off by just telling you what Mass Effect is basically about, because it's just helpful for me to let you guys know that. Okay, so this story is the epic conclusion to Shepard's story. So there will be, if there are any more Mass Effect games, they won't contain Shepard as a playable character. Throughout Mass Effect 3, you will be uniting all the races, the fleets, the different nations as a whole to fight off the Reaper threat and save humanity and all the other races, because all of them are technically getting affected. All of Shepard's past choices will of course affect how Mass Effect 3 turns out, and you'll see reoccurring characters, cameos, and also reoccurring party characters. So that's pretty good, and that's pretty much what Mass Effect 3 is about. I'd say, aside from the last 10 minutes of Mass Effect 3, the game as a whole was fantastic. I mean, it was such a great game. It connected you emotionally to the characters and just really brought through this inner feeling towards these characters that you've known for such a long time. And now this brings me to my first pro point. Now, BioWare is just terrific at creating characters that you can connect with emotionally and feel some sort of, they're sort of realistic to you, like you can resemble them to people that you would know. And they make you feel really strongly for these characters, and since you know them technically for however many years that Mass Effect's going on, and there are 3 games, they grow on you, as well as they grow with Shepard. And they do advance and change physically and emotionally from the first game to the last game. If you look at Tali, she was in the first game, very naive and very almost childish. And then you see her in Mass Effect 3 and she's an admiral, she's grown up, and she's completely grown up. She's practically an adult now, and she's lost so much and fought for so much, and she's completely changed. And so they do not only change amongst themselves, but they change with Shepard as they grow with him or her as well. Since there's a gap between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, you can really see some of the changes that happens between some of these characters that you know. Garrus, for example, he was pretty much an outcast in Mass Effect 2, and now he's a Reaper expert for Palaven and for his race. You see even Jack, who is a cameo only returning in Mass Effect 3, and she's a teacher, a biotic teacher, and helping kids, and that's her life now, and she loves them a lot. Who else? Kaidan, he's now a major, as well as becoming a Spectre in Mass Effect 3, and from just whatever he was in Assassin's Creed 2, Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 1, there are complete changes, and they're just achievements for them as characters. Another of BioWare's great aspects of their games is their very captivating storylines. And we know this, we know Mass Effect 1 had a very good storyline. Dragon Age Origins had a fantastic storyline. And then there's a little gap where the games isn't as good. So you've got Mass Effect 2, not as good as Mass Effect 1, but then you've also, on an emotional level, but then you've also got Dragon Age 2, and that also isn't as good as Origins. And then you see these games top themselves up when they come into the final installment, which is Mass Effect 3, definitely done very well. And then Dragon Age 3, which is expected to come out at some stage. And I'm going to make a video for that regarding what we can expect. I really don't think, though, that any Mass Effect game had a terrible, terrible storyline. All of the games had an interesting point. Like, the first game was introducing the world, introducing the threat, and Mass Effect 2 had to basically just fill in a space. So they had to fend off themselves and get themselves ready for the final battle, the final conquest to defeat the Reapers, and that's Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3, just the story is just so full of insanity and tension, and that's what makes a good story, when you know that you can feel so much for these characters and what they're going through. And I believe that since in Mass Effect 1 and in Mass Effect 2, Shepard didn't have many reactions to what was going on for him, especially in Mass Effect 2, where he should have really reacted to being brought back to life after 2 years. But you can really see reactions that Shepard's giving now, even in DLCs that they put out for Mass Effect 3. And that's what you expect and what I would have expected from the other games, but it's good that they're putting it out now, and I'm pretty thankful for that. So they get a good game out of it. I'm just going to remind you that these are all pros. These are all things that we love in Mass Effect 3. Just in case I really haven't put it clearly, but yeah, that's that. Okay, so that now you've got combat. We've been looking for much better combat for ages in Mass Effect. The first game had, for the time, it was good combat. For now, you think, oh my god, how did I manage without these things that have been put into Mass Effect 3? Mass Effect 2, much better. But then you move to Mass Effect 3, and it is so good. I love how they incorporate, they've got roles now. You can climb, you can slide, everything's more fast and fluid, and it's just easier to be able to move around while you're in combat and gameplay. I really like how they've used the cover system now, though. The cover system seems easier to access. Now you can roll in and out of cover and avoid gunshots even more prominently. But not only that, sliding over objects gets you to other places quickly, and you can avoid, again, shots. Oh, a major thing that I was so pleased about was the fact that you can run constantly. You can never, I don't think so. I don't think you can run constantly in Mass Effect 1. But they put in, be able to run constantly in the game, and I'm just like, thank you so much. Oh, I was so happy for that. Even the everything about it was just improved so well. The way, even like the weapons, like the sounds they gave off was great and was really exciting. Something I really want to talk about is also the Normandy. When we don't see the Normandy for a little bit after 2 missions, just because of how quickly we need to get started and set into the game and the environment. The Normandy has been undergone some dramatical changes, but there have also been a lot of renowned features that have remained intact, especially from Mass Effect 2, which the Normandy changed, and it's pretty much stayed the same. The Normandy's gotten a lot darker, and it's all sort of mystic inside. It's pretty it's red and dark blue and deep colours. They now have added some extra rooms, a war room where you can check your war assets and get updated on how many other of the nations are on your side. They also have now an extra floor, the shuttle bay, where you can now purchase mods for your weapons, upgrades, and shop there, instead of having to go to the Citadel to buy everything. And you also have 2 characters that stay in that station. There's another room. There's another room on the engineering board you can go to. You can reclaim, I love this, you can reclaim your space hamster as he's crawling around the ducts on the engineering floor near where Jack was. That was kind of cool. What else? What else has changed? I think that's pretty much it, except the fact that they've got a lounge. They have a lounge and they have a gambling table. Although I think it looks like it should have been pool, but they play gambling on it anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much all the changes. But everything else is pretty much the same, especially for Mass Effect 2. Everything, there's still Garrus's calibration room, Miranda's office, which is now Liara's. You've still got the med bay, of course, where what the doctor is. You've still got the main floor, the cockpit, and everything is still the same. The bridge, sorry. Yeah, that's pretty much the same, and I like how the Normandy's kept its same nature and hasn't really gone far off the original. Finally, RPG elements have been returned. We've been longing for more RPG-like features. Mass Effect has gone from an RPG in Mass Effect 1 to an action RPG, which has rarely any RPG features at all. I mean, Mass Effect 2 had no modification to any weapons, squad members. In Mass Effect 1 you could do squad members and yourself and your armor, and you could put things here and over here. Mass Effect 2 you couldn't even do anything to you. You do the armor color change, but that was practically it. That was it. And in Mass Effect 3 we've got some of that back. We can mod our own. It's more like Dragon Age 2. You can mod yourself up, you can change your armor, your different type of armor color, what it looks like, and you can also mod your own weapons. But you still can't modify your squad members. That was a bit of a disappointment to me. So there was practically no customization to anyone but you. And that was, you could change, actually no, you could change the squad's outfits. That was as close as modification, as customization to other characters as you got. Other RPG elements, it's not as open-worlded. Actually, no, Mass Effect was never really open-worlded. But, you could explore a lot more. You could go to planets and explore. You can't do that anymore. That's been completely stripped. But I'm glad that the Citadel is much bigger and you can go outside for a change instead of looking like my parents are being loud. I hate when they do that. Let's just try and speak louder so we can block them out. But I like how the Citadel doesn't look like so much of a mall now. It looked like a shopping center. It just looked like a shopping center where you go buy clothes and food. Had a food court. I did not like that. But I do miss the fact that you can't go to pretty much anywhere else but there as a place to go buy things. You can't. That's actually it. You can only go to the Citadel, the Normandy, and other planets on missions. That is it. Boring. Boring. Ugh. I preferred how we could go to Ilium, Omega, Tuchanka, even if we've already been there 1,000 times and buy new crap. But now everything's in the Citadel, and there's so many missions anyway, and there are so many levels, even more, but they're boring because you're always there. And it's just where's the variety? We want some more variety. So that was a bit of a letdown. Even though it is a pro, there's a con in that too. Extended cut. As fans, we've wanted a freaking better ending for the stupid last 10 minutes of the damn game, which made no sense because it didn't fit. It was philosophical and was not a war story ending. Simple. We wanted simple closure and justice done to the characters. That was not fulfilled for us. And then they release. It was like they planned an extended cut. Okay, BioWare, whatever you think. But the extended cut was much needed and what we wanted, and it was perfect. It made everything explained. Joker's leaving was explained. Things no longer blew up. Message. What else? The stupid child, the Catalyst child boy, made some sense. He gave more knowledge so you could find out more about the different types. He also explained on the Reapers and the Crucible, and they also gave you closure to find out where the characters were going, what happened after your death. Were they mourning you? And I was so sad. I'm actually going to put the reaction to the extended cut in this video of this is the synthesis ending, because it's the one I cried most to, because it was Edie speaking at the end. I love that so much. It was just perfect. So I'm going to put that in now, and I'm just going to say before I do this that I do tear up and I do start crying-ish, and it's kind of embarrassing. But, oh well, things you do for YouTube. And we really, as fans, I think everyone was happy with what we got from the extended cut. So here's the video.